All right, well, it's been a couple of weeks since you had any updates, so I will bring you up to date on what's going on. If you remember last, the SLX that I had blew up at Labor Day weekend, and I've been kind of looking for an SLX to replace it ever since. And we found that one right there, but it was missing the nose plate, and it had some issues with the engine. It was pretty much grenaded. Other than that, the bottom of the hull is actually in very, very good shape. This jet pump was perfect, no nicks on the impeller whatsoever. So it's a very good hull, it's just missing a few things. And what I'll show you here in a minute is we got another one just like it. But it's in, the hull is in better shape. Actually, it has all the trim pieces. So it has a hole in one of the pistons. Otherwise, it's in very, very good shape. Came with a double trailer and all that kind of stuff. So I just haven't had time to tear that one apart yet. I've been just kind of lazy and taking it easy. It got to, you might see the wind is blowing like crazy. It got really cold and it's just no fun to work. As you remember, the 700 is fixed and ready to go. I've had it on Craigslist for a couple of weeks, and being that it's cold, I don't think anybody's really going to be interested, so we'll probably just hang on to it until springtime. So that brings me to my old one, and you can see tools laying around. I'm tearing it apart because I found this other SLX that I want to keep and fix up, which is a 96 model, which has the red bottom, and it has the R&D intake grate and all that kind of good stuff. So it's a a newer, better model to replace this one, which is the 95. It's kind of seen better days, but it served its purpose. I got it cheap enough, so it doesn't matter. So anyway, I'm working on taking everything out of it. I got the impeller off the back, which is over here, the whole jet pump. I thought this was kind of weird. If you look at this jet pump, you see that it's got, the blades are kind of angular. They look like what came in the 750, but this one, which is the one that came off of that guy over there, if you look at it, if I can get it out here, this is weird. Look, it's got kind of a swirly pattern to it. So if anybody knows why the jet pumps are different, that would be wonderful if you can tell me that. So I've got this one off of here, which the jet pump on that other one that I just purchased, it's got some nicks in the blade, so I can use this one in there. Just a little parts changeroo. But I got to get my goodies out of here first. I want the electronics and all that stuff that actually I can sell. It actually has a good MFD, which actually I'm going to take this MFD and put it on that one, because that one's kind of got the blurry problem that the Polarises all have. That brings me to the MFD issues and repairing them. All right, so this is one that came on that guy right there, and it had the same problem with the display kind of being somewhat out. So I decided to take my Dremel tool, just like everybody showed, and to take it apart and fix it. Well, I succeeded in fixing it, but God, this looks like crap now. I mean, it looks terrible. I guess you could have put the epoxy in it and then glue the bezel back on and look okay, but man, it looks like garbage. So I don't know. I may put it back together or just sell it as is. I don't know. But it does work now. So those are kind of a pain in the butt to work on. So anyway, I'm going to start tearing this apart. I'll keep you updated as I get things apart. I can tell you, this thing's never been got into other than the fact that I rebuilt the carburetors in it. And I cannot get the drive shaft out. I got the jet pump off, but I can't get the drive shaft out, which indicates that it's actually spun inside that coupler and almost welded itself together. Bet you $100 that's what it did. But other than that, I'm just going to take it apart. All right, I don't know if I've ever showed this before, but this is how I get the Fuji motors out without taking the carbs off. All you got to do is get rid of the exhaust pipes on this side and the manifold. And then what I do is I have my little half-ton deal, and that's screwed into a stud, and it's like 8 inches thick. I basically put a little tie-down strap around the engine and just start hoisting it up and working its way out. You got to make sure you don't get any of your electrical connections caught up in there or yanking it loose. And then once you get this out, then you can start disconnecting. Like there's electrical connections up here, there's electrical connections here. You got to get this off. I mean, there's just tons of stuff that you have to get out of here to get it completely deinstalled electrically. So that's how I get the motor out without too much fuss. It only takes me about, 30 minutes. 4 bolts on either side, take off the drive shaft down there, and make sure you disconnect the fuel lines. Simple as that. Okay, so what I've done is to get the electrical off of the handlebars, you got your little trim adjuster and your kill switch that sits up there like that. You take it off, and you basically have to get it down through this little piece right here. And there's a little grommet that you got to get out of there, and I just cut the grommet. Now, you know, if you're not trying to save the ski or anything like that, you know, you could just smash this or cut it out. But to be honest with you, I'm trying to save this so if I sell the hull, somebody could use it if they needed to. All I need is the electronics out of it. And you see, they just go down a little hole right there. And then they come out down there. So what I need to do now is I need to feed all these down so that way I can pull the electrical system out. And then I need to crawl up underneath here and unscrew the trim pump. So that way I can pull the trim pump out also, so it can be all as a, you know, a solid unit. And then I need to take off the steering cable, which is another ordeal in itself, kind of a pain in the butt. But anyway, that's where I am right now, is taking this apart, just slowly and methodically taking it apart to make sure I don't ruin anything. All right, well, I kind of got ahead of myself, and my son came out and helped me, and we finished stripping this thing down without filming the rest of it. But that's the junk left over. Got the stator off, got all the electrics out in one piece without having to cut any wires. It's all in the box, ready to go. Photographed it, ready to go up on eBay. Was able to get the drive shaft out finally. And there are some differences between the drive shaft and the between the 95 and the 96. So gotta make sure I keep that all nice and straight. So it's done, it's stripped down. I got all the stuff that I want off of it. Throw it up there, sell it for 75 bucks or something like that. See what it goes for on Craigslist. Because this thing is registered till June of 2012. And all it needs is just a pump put back in it and an engine and electrics. So if somebody had all that stuff laying around, get themselves a nice little ski. The hull's in good shape, no real big scratches on the bottom, so sayonara, poor little Polaris. It's gone, hopefully.